Hi, I'm Juan Arango from Exit Ventures. If you or your family are considering selling a family business or a portfolio company, this conversation is for you. In today's videos, our managing partner, Paul Bergen, who's led over $3 billion in strategic acquisitions, will walk you through exactly how to position your company for a successful exit to a strategic buyer. So let's go ahead and dive in.
Um, we won't go into detail here in a lot of detail, but the way that you structure a deal is important for your after-tax proceeds. You can do an asset deal where you sell the assets and liabilities separately. You can do a stock deal where they buy the stock of the business. There's pros and cons to each. Uh, Sellers almost always want stock deals for tax and liability purposes. So as a seller, it would be very rare for you not to push the sale of the stock of the company. But in some cases, depending on tax basis and liabilities that need to be carved out, or liabilities that buyers don't want to buy, sometimes it's beneficial to do an asset and liability deal instead of a stock deal, and your lawyers and investment bankers can definitely be a big help here. The other thing is when we're talking about family office and your legacy, is you want to, just like a buyer doesn't want to have the business kind of fall on its face in the first year or two after closing, you want to protect your legacy as a family office. And when you sell a business, a lot of times the family office will consider, especially if it's the legacy family business, the family office will consider the management team and a lot of the employees part of the extended family, right? A lot of times these people have helped driven the growth of this business potentially for decades, and had created a ton of value for the owning family. And frankly, the owning family probably has gotten to know these people pretty well. They don't want a buyer to come in and fire everybody or shut down the factory, within a few months, or frankly, not give the people that they know and trust a chance. And so post-closing covenants are an important way for you as a family office, especially when you're selling the legacy family business, to protect your interests by saying, as part of the deal, we need a contractual covenant, post-closing covenant, that you will not shut down a factory within the first year or two. You won't have any mass layoffs. All of this is negotiable, right? But, you won't fire more than 5% of the management team. You won't decrease salaries, for a year after closing. You won't change the management team's compensation for at least a year after closing or 2 years after closing, whatever. This is a way for you to show loyalty, frankly, to the team that helped get you here, but also protect your legacy, because the last thing you want is a big black eye when the buyer comes in, they pay you a lot of money as a family office, and 3 months later they fired, 25% of your staff. That hurts. So post-closing covenants are a great way to protect you and your legacy and the family name, and frankly, the people that you've come to know and trust and appreciate for what they did. All of these issues are why you hire experienced investment bankers and lawyers, and why you pay a premium. Is they will protect you, get you better terms. You are going to pay a lot more for the top tier talent. And in my opinion, they're worth every dollar if you get the right people with the right team, with the right experience, and understand exactly what you're trying to achieve.